You don't snap during a tragedy. You don't break in the middle of a crisis. It happens on a completely ordinary day. A random Tuesday. You walk through the front door, and something feels wrong. The fluorescent light hits your eyes too sharply. The refrigerator hum is louder than it should be. Someone you care about asks a simple question. What do you want for dinner? And suddenly, everything collapses. Your patience doesn't fade. It shatters. A surge of anger floods your chest, fast, violent, uncontrollable. Your words come out sharp, cold, precise. Not to communicate, but to push people away. You drop your keys harder than necessary. The sound echoes. Silence fills the room. And in that silence, you see it, the shock in their eyes. And instantly, you turn on yourself. Why am I like this? Why am I so toxic? You build a story in your head. That this is who you are. That something inside you is broken. So you promise again. To be calmer next time. To breathe. To control it. But it happens again. Because the truth is, this has nothing to do with your personality. What you're experiencing in that exact moment is not a character flaw. It's a system failure. Beneath your awareness, your brain is running a survival mechanism that has been pushed past its limit. The world teaches you that sudden anger means something is wrong with you. So when you react too strongly, to noise, to light, to simple questions, you get labeled irritable, difficult, unstable. People start walking on eggshells around you. And slowly, you start believing them. You monitor yourself constantly. You suppress your reactions. You force yourself to act normal, even when your environment feels unbearable. You smile under harsh lights. You nod in noisy rooms. You pretend you're fine. But you're not fine. Because suppression doesn't solve the problem. It traps it. It's like sealing a boiling system shut and expecting the pressure to disappear. And here's the part no one tells you. Perception is not passive. Every sound you hear, every light you see, every sensation you feel, costs energy. For most people, the brain filters out the noise. It ignores what doesn't matter. But for you, nothing gets filtered. Your brain is processing everything. The hum of electricity, the texture of your clothes, multiple conversations at once, tiny vibrations most people never notice. It's all coming in at full intensity. Your mind is running a high-performance simulation of the entire environment in real time. And that comes at a cost. Your brain starts running out of energy. And when that happens, it makes a brutal decision. It shuts down the part of you that keeps you calm, the part responsible for logic, empathy, and control. Your prefrontal cortex goes offline, and something older takes over. Your amygdala. The amygdala doesn't understand context. It doesn't care that you're at home, or that the question was harmless. It only understands one thing: threat or no threat. And when your senses are overwhelmed, it makes a fatal mistake. It reads overload as danger. Instantly, it activates survival mode. Your heart races. Your breathing tightens. Your body prepares for conflict. And in that moment, your anger isn't emotional. It's biological. The outburst, the harsh tone, the need to push people away, isn't you being toxic. It's your nervous system trying to survive. It's trying to create space, silence, relief, by force, and that realization changes everything. Because if your anger isn't your personality, then who have you been blaming all this time? You are not broken. You are overloaded. In fact, your brain isn't weak. It's highly sensitive. It picks up details others miss. It reads subtle shifts in tone. It feels the atmosphere of a room instantly. You are deeply aware, almost too aware, like a human radar system that never turns off. And in a quiet world, that would be a gift. But we don't live in a quiet world. We live in constant stimulation. Notifications, screens, traffic, voices, artificial lights, endless noise. Your brain was not designed for this. It was built for silence, for stillness, for survival in a simple environment. Now it's forced to process chaos. All day, every day. And it's exhausting you. So when you finally snap, it's not random. It's math. It's what happens when pressure exceeds capacity. And if you keep ignoring it, if you keep forcing yourself to endure, your brain will choose a different escape. Not anger, numbness. You won't explode anymore. But you won't feel anything either. No joy, no connection, no energy, just emptiness. So this is the truth. You are not fighting yourself. You are fighting an environment your brain was never designed to handle. And that changes the question completely. The question is no longer, what's wrong with me? The real question is, how much more can my system take? Before it forces E to stop. Now you know. The monster inside you is not a monster. It's a survival system, screaming for silence. If you want, I can also add open loops every 2-3 minutes, viral retention style. Insert Joker-style dark narration tone. Or break this into a perfect 20-minute YouTube script with scene directions. Okay, now give the script 12,000 characters. Here's your extended character cinematic script, optimized for retention, pacing, and narration flow. You don't snap during a tragedy. You don't break in the middle of a crisis. It happens on a completely ordinary day. A random Tuesday. You walk through the front door, and something feels off. The fluorescent light feels too sharp. The refrigerator hum is louder than it should be. There's a strange pressure in the air you can't explain. Someone you care about looks at you and asks, "What do you want for dinner?" A normal question. A harmless moment. And then it happens. Not slowly, not gradually. Instantly. Your patience doesn't fade. It collapses. A violent surge rises in your chest. Your body tightens. Your jaw locks. And before you can stop it, you lash out. Your words come out sharp, precise, cold. Not to communicate, but to create distance. You drop your keys harder than necessary. The sound cracks through the room. Silence follows, heavy, suffocating. And in that silence, you see it, the look in their eyes. Shock, confusion, maybe even hurt. And suddenly, everything flips. The anger disappears, and something darker replaces it. Guilt. Why did I do that? What is wrong with me? Why am I like this? You start building the same story you always do. That this is your personality. That deep down you're just toxic. So you make a promise. You always do. Next time I'll stay calm. I'll breathe. I'll control it. But deep down, you already know the truth. It's going to happen again. Because what you experienced in that moment has nothing to do with your personality, nothing to do with your character, and nothing to do with being a bad person. What you felt was a system overload. There is a hidden process happening beneath your awareness. While you think you're just having a normal day, your brain is doing something far more intense. It's processing everything, every sound, every light, every movement, every subtle shift in your environment. For most people, this isn't a problem. Their brain filters things out. Background noise disappears. Lights fade into the background. Irrelevant details get ignored. But for you, nothing gets filtered. Everything comes in. At full volume. The hum of electricity. The flicker of artificial light. Multiple voices blending together. The texture of your clothes against your skin. Your brain doesn't ignore it. It tracks it. All of it. At the same time. Imagine running a high-performance computer. At maximum capacity. All day. No breaks. No shutdown. No cooling system. That's your brain. It's constantly rendering reality. In high definition. And that costs energy. A massive amount of energy. And here's where things start to break. Because your brain doesn't have unlimited resources. At some point, it starts running low. And when that happens, it makes a brutal decision. It shuts down the most expensive system first. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, patience, empathy, self-control. Gone, not damaged, not broken, just offline. And when that happens, something older takes over. Something faster, something more primitive. Your amygdala. The amygdala doesn't understand context. It doesn't care that you're safe. It doesn't analyze situations. It reacts. It scans for danger. And it makes decisions instantly. Binary decisions. Safe or threat. And when your senses are overwhelmed, it makes a critical mistake. It reads overload as danger. So in that moment, you're not reacting to a question. You're reacting to a perceived threat. Your heart rate spikes. Your breathing changes. Your muscles tense. Your body prepares for action. Fight or flight. And because you can't run, you fight. That explosion of anger. It's not emotional weakness. It's a survival response. Your brain is trying to do one thing. Reduce input. Create space. Silence the noise. Push everything away. Fast. And the most effective way to do that is aggression. That's why your words become sharp. That's why your tone hardens. That's why people step back. Because your nervous system just forced the environment to quiet down. It worked, but at a cost. Because now, you're left in the aftermath, standing in silence, watching the damage, and blaming yourself for something you didn't fully control. This is where the real damage happens. Not during the outburst. After it, when you start building an identity around it. I'm toxic. I'm unstable. I'm the problem. And the more you repeat that story, the more ill it feels. So you try harder. You suppress more. You force yourself to stay calm, even when everything inside you is screaming. You smile through discomfort. You endure environments that drain you. You ignore the warning signs, because you don't want to hurt anyone. But suppression doesn't solve the problem. It delays it. And every time you ignore the signals, you add more pressure, until eventually, the system fails again. And this creates a loop. Overload. Suppression. Explosion. Guilt. Repeat. But here's the truth that changes everything. You are not broken. You are overloaded. Your brain isn't weak. It's highly sensitive. It notices details others miss. It reads emotional shifts instantly. It processes the world at a deeper level. You are aware. In a way most people are not. In the right environment. That would be a gift. But we don't live in that environment anymore. We live in constant stimulation. Phones vibrating, notifications pinging, traffic roaring, voices overlapping, lights buzzing. Your brain was never designed for this. It was built for silence, for stillness, for survival in a simple world. Now it's forced to process chaos, non-stop, every day, and it's exhausting you. So when you snap, it's not random. It's not a personality flaw. It's the moment your system hits its limit. And if you keep ignoring that limit, your brain will adapt in a different way. Not with anger, but with numbness. You'll stop reacting, but you'll also stop feeling. No excitement, no joy, no connection, just emptiness. And that's the trade. Explosions, or disconnection. But there's something important you need to understand. You're not fighting yourself. You're fighting an environment your brain was never built to handle. And that changes everything. Because now the question is no longer, what's wrong with me? The real question is, how much pressure can I take before my system forces me to stop? Because it will stop you, one way or another. So the next time you feel it building, that pressure, that irritation, that invisible weight in your chest, don't ignore it. That's not weakness. That's a warning. Because the monster you're afraid of isn't a monster. It's a survival system. And it's not trying to destroy your life. It's trying to protect it. Even if it does it in the most misunderstood way possible.